Good morning, my dear friends. In the last class, we referred by understanding concept of scope of supply. Scope of supply, which includes composite supply, mixed supply. After that, we too referred composition scheme, a specific taxation by the taxpayer. Further, we too referred the reverse charge in which supply of goods are same apply, and also we to maximum extent we covered the supply of services RCM. Here in the last class by concluding, I referred if it is a residential property given for residential dwelling to unregistered person exempted, to registered person is taxable under the RCM. And we have furthermore here one amendment from 10th October 2024. They introduced in case of any immovable property which is given on rental basis commercial purposes to a particular registered person by unregistered person. Conditions apply. Supplier should be unregistered person. Recipient should be registered person. Nature of supply, renting of any immovable property. Any immovable property for the purposes other than residential dwelling, namely commercial nature. In that case, it is RCM. Who liable to pay GST? Recipient liable to pay GST. This point I just drafted in a particular diagrammatic manner. Type of supply. Residential property, supplier may be registered, may be unregistered. Recipient registered, RCM apply. Sir, property is commercial, sir, other than residential dwelling, sir. Supplier registered person, recipient registered person, RCM apply. No, sir. Supplier registered person, commercial property, sir, which is FCM, liable to pay GST and a forward charge. Is clear? The entire thing has been presented in a particular slide. Further, there is an amended provision also taking place here. In the case of any immovable property given on rental basis by a registered person to by unregistered person to registered person other than residential dwelling purpose. Just the law was drafted by saying that if the recipient registered person sufficient, supply the registered person, then the property is commercial nature given rental basis RCM apply. That is hitted with a practical approach. What do you mean by practical approach here? What is hitted here? I will refer to you, my dear friends. Listen to me here. Assume a scenario. I am Mr. Rafi, unregistered person. I have one commercial shop at Mount Road, Chennai. You just recently qualified. Couple of months before you start the practice, because of your turnover exceed 20 lakhs, you got registered under composition scheme. Intention of composition scheme is to pay lesser rate of GST. Correct? To pay very lesser rate of GST. But in the given case, what happened? Rafi, owner of the property, given on rental basis to a recipient who is a practicing cost chartered accountant and he is a registered person under composition scheme. Then what happened? From 10th October 24 onwards, it is an RCM. Who liable to pay GST? Recipient, who is registered under the composition scheme. In that case, if the recipient liable to pay GST under composition scheme, they have to pay normal rate of tax. That means you have to pay as a component taxpayer under RCM normal rate of tax for the RCM case. 9% CGST, 9% HGST. Then what is the benefit? Then the law got realized practically, finally, is logically incorrect. We should not simply say that recipient should be a registered person. We should have to say that such a recipient who is a registered person should not be a composition taxpayer. If that word comes into picture, we are protecting the interest of the composition taxpayer. With that, there is an amendment taken place. from 16th January 2025. The recipient, a registered person other than composition taxpayer. This particular provision also introduced from which period? That particular entire particular 5A-B has been introduced from 10th October 2024. 10th October 2024, the law has been introduced such a manner that supply is the unregistered person, recipient is a registered person, nature of supply is any immovable property renting for the purpose other than the residential dwelling, then RCM apply. Then from 16th January 25, this undergone the amendment. Second amendment taken place. The recipient registered person should not be a composition taxpayer. Good. Now the law is good. Now what happened in the intervening period from 10th October 2024 to that 16th up to 15th January 2025. In the intervening period, the recipient is a registered person under composition scheme. Whether he is liable to pay GST under RCM or not, this matter has been regularized. Meaning what? It is treated as is, where is basis. Meaning what? If you being a chartered accountant, operate a composition scheme a registered person, if you would have been paid the GST and RCM, don't ask now. No refund. Sir, not paid, sir. Not paid under RCM in the intervening period by composition taxpayer, being registered person, then department don't issue the notice. Leave it. Get my point, sir? This is an amendment which one can able to view from your study. That amendment material is available now. That supplementary amendment issued for the CA September 25 examination by the institute. It is here. 5AB. See here. Charge. Here, supplier of service, any unregistered person, recipient of service, registered person, other than a person who has opted to pay tax under composition scheme. This amendment with effect from 16th January 2025. This provision is 5AB introduced from 10th October 2024. From that period to this period of this amendment, in intervening period, from 10th October 2024 to 15th January 2025, in that intervening period, if the recipient is a composition taxpayer, registered person, he is required to pay the tax. If he paid, no refund. If not paid, not going to demand. The matter has been settled as is, where is basis. So we are halfway through of discussing what? Reverse charge mechanism. We are here only. Get my points? With this, section 9, subsection 3 of CGST reverse charge is completed. Now I am referring to you the section 9, subsection 5 of CGST Act, same as section 9, section 5, subsection 5 of the IGST Act, where e-commerce operator only liable to pay tax. The liability to pay GST by e-commerce operator. There are 4 cases has been identified so far. 4 are service only. No goods. Section 9, subsection 5, e-commerce operator only liable to pay tax under RCM. Strictly speaks, this particular e-commerce operator neither provider of service nor recipient of service, but he is liable to pay the tax, which is a specific provision 9.5. Section 9.5 of the CGST talks about if the transaction like this, 1, radio taxi, Uber, Ola, and thereafter, any motor cab or maxi, or for the sake of discussion, any motor vehicle designed to carry passengers. If that has been operated for transportation of passengers purpose through e-commerce operator, who liable to pay GST? The liability to pay GST is by e-commerce operator, not by the supplier, nor by the recipient. For example, my dear friends, you are traveling to hometown from Chennai. You are in T Nagar now. You want to go to airport. You have the Uber app Ola app, just your location, destination. If you press, within fraction of minutes, driver is calling, sir, where are you, sir? I'm Uber driver, sir. I'm here only. I'm next street. I'm coming, sir. Within 2-3 minutes, is coming to a place and pick up and dropping at the airport. Who is supplier? In fact, a driver, cab driver. Who is the recipient? In fact, a customer, you and me, who travel in that particular cab. Now, neither supplier liable to pay GST, nor the recipient liable to pay GST. Who liable to pay GST? The e-commerce operator liable to pay GST under section 9, subsection 5 of the CGST. Sir, if it is outside India, sir, oh, supplier outside India? Yes, sir. He is from USA operating through cloud, sir. If there is a case, section 5, subsection 5 of the IGST says that you have to pay GST in the given case. Sir, I am outside India. If so, you have a place of business in India. Sir, difficult, sir, so expensive, sir. In that case, at least you should have a representative in India to pay the GST. I am not willing to have a representative in India. Is it so? Are you sure? Yes, sir. Then we are going to cut your services to cloud. You cannot able to provide services in India. You get my point, sir? If and if who liable to pay GST in the case of a radio taxi or any motor cab, including omnibus, supply through e-commerce operator, who liable to pay GST? E-commerce operator. Here there is an amendment taking place. If omnibus comes into picture, what do you mean by omnibus? If you refer here is omnibus. If such omnibus is operating by a particular person, for example, my name is Parvin Travels Private Limited, own omnibus. If I am filling the passengers through e-commerce operator, in that case, Parvin Travels Private Limited, meaning what? Body corporate, namely company. If the supplier of omnibus is a company, means the company registered in Companies Act 2013 as a PVT or LTD, as the case may be. If such a private or limited company as a company operating omnibus through e-commerce operator, because they want to claim more input tax credit. Therefore, they themselves said, we will pay the GST, even though we provide services through e-commerce operator. Then the department, government, GST council accepted the appeal of the particular industry. If the company own omnibus operating through e-commerce operator not liable to pay GST, company only liable to pay GST, being a transportation of passenger services. Get my point, sir? Suppose my name is Sharma Travels. I am a sole proprietor. My name is Sharma, providing Sharma Travel, providing transport passenger services through e-commerce operator. Let us say Redbus, one of the app. Through them, I am providing services. Then who liable to pay GST? Redbus, e-commerce operator, not by Sharma Travels, because this omnibus owned by not a company. Yes, it is other than the company. Is clear of my difference? Coming back to further more points here. Point number 2, I am referring section 9.5, point number 5, where short-term accommodation service provider. Repeating again, short-term accommodation service provider. Meaning what? Per day, per room basis providing services. Per day, per room. If such a supplier is unregistered person supplying the services of short-term accommodation service through e-commerce operator. For example, my name is Raman and Company. I own a particular lodge where 100 rooms are there, but customer not coming. Therefore, I want to promote and get the more customers. I got tie up with the OYO. OYO. OYO is an e-commerce operator. Through them, customers are booking the rooms in my particular hotel. Raman providing short-term accommodation services through e-commerce operator. Raman is a registered person. Raman is an unregistered person. Raman is the unregistered person, sir, because his turnover is less than threshold limit for registration. In that case, the e-commerce operator, you have to pay the GST as if you are a provider of short-term accommodation service. Meaning, if Raman is a registered person, what is the GST he liable to pay to department? as a short-term accommodation provider. Such that rate of GST should discharge by the e-commerce operator is the meaning of it. In that case, Raman and company being operating the short-term accommodation not liable to pay GST till the Raman and company reaches threshold limit for registration. If tomorrow Raman and company got registered, then Raman and company liable to pay GST. Then e-commerce operator will pay the GST only on his earning commission. On the commission earned by the e-commerce will liable to pay GST on that commission. You get my point, sir? Now come back. Point number 3, section 9, subsection 5 of the CGST, e-commerce operator liable to pay. Point number 3, housekeeping services. My name is Mr. Vijay. I am a very good electrician, cum plumber. I am a diploma holder. I want to provide my services of housekeeping nature through e-commerce operator. I got tie-up with the Uber. Urban Club. Yes, Urban Club, best example. Urban Club is e-commerce operator. There, the customers book the electrical work. Then this Vijay is going there and doing the service. The bill is charged, for example, rupees 5,000. Who liable to pay GST? Question mark. Vijay, housekeeping service provider, who is a plumber cum electrician, is a registered person or unregistered person? Unregistered person, sir. E-commerce operator, you pay the GST. No, sir. Vijay is a registered person, sir. Then housekeeping service provider, registered person, only liable to pay GST, not by e-commerce operator. That means in these two, peculiarly, what are they? Short-term accommodation services followed by housekeeping services. In these two cases alone, if they are unregistered persons, the recipient is a registered person. The supplying the services through e-commerce operator only liable to pay tax. If the short-term accommodation service provider or if the housekeeping service provider are registered persons, e-commerce operator is not liable to pay tax. It won't come under section 9(5). Get my point, sir? Finally, point number 4, cloud kitchen services. Meaning what? Stand-alone restaurants which are providing only takeaways, not Sangeetam, not the Ananda Bhavan. Which one? Not Geetam, except now Sangeetam became Geetam. So Geetam or not Sangeeta Bhavan, not Ananda Bhavan, where we have facility to sit and eat. That restaurant I am not referring here. The restaurant is meant for only takeaway services, parcel. Getting the order to cloud through e-commerce operator, fulfilling the order. In that case, in the given case, my dear sir, you look here, in the given case, restaurant is this where there is no sit and eat. Getting the order through e-commerce operator from the customer. Customer using the app, Swiggy, Zomato, that and this, placing the order and preparing the food, handing over to that particular e-commerce operator who is transporting and delivering at a customer doorstep. This service offered by restaurant wala not liable to pay GST. Who liable to pay GST? E-commerce operator liable to pay GST, provided with a condition. Such a restaurant, what we refer to this restaurant should not be located in specified premises. It should be other than specified premises. What do you mean by specified premises? First of all, a restaurant where there is a hotel accommodation offering the accommodation per day per room more than or equal to 7,500 per day per room. Such hotel rooms are available. In that hotel, restaurant is there. This restaurant located in this specified premises. If that is the case, restaurant only liable to pay GST, not by e-commerce provider. Meaning thereby conditions. Restaurant should be offering cloud kitchen services, standalone restaurant. This should not be located in the specified premises. Means it should not be in a hotel premises where the hotel rooms are offering the room rent per day per room. more than or equal to rupees 7,500, then the restaurant services, restaurant will only liable to pay GST, not by e-commerce operator. Is clear, sir? What type of restaurant you are talking about? Sir, I am talking about Skyline Restaurant. My name is Skyline Restaurant. I have my own room where I am cooking the food, making the parcel, means packing it, kept readily. Whoever get the order, relevant parcel, I am handing over. That's all. Stand-alone restaurant. In that case, such a restaurant not liable to pay GST at all. Sir, such a restaurant already got registered, sir. CBIC said, hey restaurant, for you, no need of any registration. If you already have registration, apply for cancellation of registration. If and if, who liable to pay GST in case of cloud kitchen? Only e-commerce operator. Conditions apply. The restaurant should not be located in the specified premises. Which one is the specified premises? The premises where the short-term accommodation offering by the hotel not is exceeding more than or equal to 7,500 is specified locations. If in that locations this restaurant is there, e-commerce operator not liable to pay. Who liable to pay? Restaurant only liable to pay. How many points we referred and understood, my dear? 4 points we understood. Correct, Raja? These 4 points, why I have given that much of importance for a kind consideration means e-commerce operator who is paying the GST under the section 9.5, he paying the full amount of GST, part amount of GST, full amount of GST. In that case, section 52 of the CGST Act, which talks about tax collected at source under GST law, not applicable. TCS, if and if, for whom applicable? Only to a e-commerce operator. Such a e-commerce operator paying the tax fully, where is the question of TCS again? Logically, practically, finally, this particular e-commerce operator who paying the tax under section 9.5 not required to collect TCS. Statement true or false? True. Got the clarity? As simple as this. However, in case e-commerce operator paying the tax under section 9.5 in the 4 cases, radio taxi or motor car designed to carry passengers, second one short-term accommodation, third one housekeeping, fourth one cloud kitchen. In these cases, if the e-commerce operator liable to pay tax, he paying under the RCM only. RCM category only, 9.5 is RCM category. Should not use input tax credit. Should pay through electronic cash ledger. Get my points? You got clarity? If we have this, I can simplify manner to say that reverse charge chapter, supply of goods, supply of services, fully have covered with amendments for the coming exam of September 2025 especially. Dear friends, further referring a new chapter now called as time of supply. Time of supply. This time of supply I will take into my hands. I will present to you in a simplified manner in one particular sheet there in the material given to you. Your page number, whatever may be the page number. என்ன my dear sir, சொல்லுங்க. Material is available. You have been registered through online. In that it is there. In that particular group, we have given the material. See, what for? Yes. E-commerce operator. Eligible to claim ITs. ITs you wanted to know now itself. 1 minute wait. I will explain to you right now. Is an amendment again. In a sense, clarification of the CBIC. Dear friends, you know why Rafi sir conducting this rapid revision type of classes before 1 month examination as a helping hand to below students final level. You get my point, sir? One is motivation. Second one is as a helping hand to my beloved profession, to my beloved students. For that only we have 10 times we thought whether to offer freely or not offer freely. I have to tell you the fact. The Bharadwaj Institute said, sir, these children sir came from foundation to final, sir, just standing in front of the pass gateway to become member. So we'll conduct free classes. As a result, the most will get benefits, sir. With that intention only we are offering. Does not mean that because of the free classes, Rafi sir can enjoy in the class and shortcut to present and conclude the class and go. It's not so. Knowing the fact that as a faculty, as a guru, I have more responsibility to look my students. If I take class for payment, what due attention I need to give, much more than that attention I'm giving in the class. There's a manasakshi inside. It says that you should not dilute any provision. I should not dilute. Even 10 minutes should not be go late to the class. 2 hours before I'm coming and sitting here. You get my point, sir? Because of the free class, you should not be dilute attention. My inner heart says to me, by giving the respect to the profession and commitment, we are coming and taking classes. And generally, my dear friends, I'm telling you openly, so far, my material, soft copy, not given to any student who paid fees for that. It's the first time I offered. When we say free, everything is free. Why should we material separately charge? Material has been uploaded, my dear. Volume 1 uploaded. Volume 2 I'm also uploading. Volume 2 I'm going to upload one day before I'm commencing the Volume 2 chapters. Volume 2 chapters, this Volume 1 is up to input tax credit, Raja. Thereafter, whatever the registration chapter onwards, Volume 2 is coming. I'm going to upload Volume 2 one day before itself. And apart from that, workbook freely uploaded for you people, ensuring that to qualify. You have some respect, na? Rafi sir class we went, we qualified that time with the highest marks in IDT. That pride sufficient for me. From the bottom of heart, you have that respect enough for me. That particular love and affection is sufficient for me. Nothing, what else required? With that, myself and Bharadwaj Institute, we made a plan. 1 month before this particular commencement of the class, we have been scheduled. Get my point, sir? So, you just ask me any difficulty, 99% I will try to provide. Now the point comes into picture as a doubt. But this sincerity, this attention, this particular regularity is there from the student side. Naan ready, ning ready ya? I'm asking. That is a question mark. Students, online students, liberty. If that liberty takes too much, then difficult for us to achieve the goals. Online students, there are across the India attending. They should also take the oath. 7 days, 8 days class, officer class, we dedicate. One subject is in our hand. Like that, if they dedicated and attend the class, no doubt they will get highest marks. I will take care. Just come and sit. That is going to be lack students' side not attending regularly. Yesterday there were 30, today 18, 19. Flexibility. That means what? Regularity is not there. You tell me there is no consistency. There is no consistency. There won't be any ability. You are aware of that. At final level you came, Baba. You know that what is the requirement of the institute. Unless you study, you cannot be able to pass. Once you pass, never required to write forever again indirect tax laws in lifetime. Yes or no? There is no examination to test your knowledge in indirect tax once you qualify. So humble request, not only my live class students, also through online students, continue, regularly continue. Then the students will feel smart. Rafi sir, yesterday class uploaded in the website, rapid revision day 1. Rapid revision day 1 I uploaded. Is it guarantee every day I upload? All class I am going to upload? No. You get my point, sir? At the same time, full day class not uploaded. Before lunch break, 3 hours class only uploaded in the website, YouTube channel, rapid revision class, day 1. Because to look this particular content, how we are presenting, please continue and attend all classes. The meaning of it does not mean that Rafi sir is going to upload all classes on the YouTube. Therefore, we can able to sit and listen later on. Later on, never going to come. Exam only will come. So, my students means the student attend the class, live class and online class are the students. Those who are listening through video classes, that is called as a YouTube channel, that can be listened by any person, including department officers also can listen. They are not my students. Only the students attending in the class and in the offline as well as online. Online students, I am openly telling you, recommending you, do not miss the classes, and if you have any doubt, please, as if you are in the class of mine, you ask that doubt by unmute. I will reply to you. Now one doubt has been asked. What is the doubt means? Very good doubt, my dear. Your doubt is very good and is a premature to refer, but you are mature enough to understand. I am confident I make you understand. The doubt here is, I am e-commerce operator, sir. My name is, let us say, Amazon. I have with me 2 supplies. One supply on which I am liable to pay GST under section 9.5. Under 9.5. I am an e-commerce operator. I am paying GST under 9.5. Thereafter, I am an e-commerce operator. I am paying the GST under 9.1. What is the 9.1? 9.1 is forward charge. Levy and collection on supplier. Section 9, Section 1, forward charge. I am an e-commerce operator. I am earning the commission. On that, I am paying the GST under forward charge. As an e-commerce operator, I am also paying the GST under 9.5 under RCM. The two are my output as my output liabilities are there. When I am going to pay the GST under 9.1 under FCM, I am eligible to claim IDC? Yes. When I am going to pay the tax under 9.5, I am eligible to claim IDC? No. Now I have a common input tax credit. I have taken the premise rental basis, commercial property rental basis. You get my point, sir? I have advertisement services. Common. This common expenditure on which GST I paid, I have input tax credit. This input tax credit not only for my forward charge supplies under 9.1, but also reverse charge and 9.5 also. In that case, input tax credit, how much I can claim, how I can able to treat this input tax credit. Is the doubt, am I right? Exactly. Is the doubt. If so, here now amendment taking place. I will tell you the amendment. Right now I am going to show that in the material and we will work out the numeric problem in this regard. Numeric problem I am going to bring. Get my point, sir? What is this amendment? This particular solution. Law says, hey e-commerce operator, your common input on which GST you paid, full ITC is allowed while paying the GST under section 9.1 forward charge. While paying the GST under 9.5 under RCM, pay the GST through enter in cash ledger without availing input tax credit. But whatever credit is available with you, fully ITC allowed, not required to reverse any proportional amount of credit while paying the GST under forward charge. 9.1 is clear, as sir? This point I would like to bring to your notice from the amended material point of view here as follows. Amendment. Section 9, subsection 5. Look here. Clarification. In the study material or our institute material applicable for September 2025 amendment material issued by CMA Institute. Clarification in respect of input tax credit available. Clarification in respect of input tax credit availed by electronic commerce operator where service notified under section 9(5) of the CGST are supplied through their platform. So this is very big issue. Issue is there, one clarification, so much is there. This is circular, correct, sir? Here, nutshell. E-commerce operator liable to pay tax under 9(5) for specified services. No reversal of ITC or input services used to facilitate such supplies. Full input tax credit liability under 9(5) to be paid in cash. Okay. This is understandable and understand. Furthermore, simplifying, everyone will understand with the help of a numeric example is as follows. Here. Section 9(5). Bring into notice with numeric example. Only just because voluminous. Directly I will knock the door, otherwise from our amendment material. Yes, just once check here and I will go there. So this is somewhat taking time activity. That's why the reason we are straight away go to the main content. I will lift that thing from the main content. Amendments. Section 9(5) and 9(1). E-commerce operator, full amount of IT is allowed while paying the GST under the forward charge. Not required to reverse. An excellent problem is available with us. Because this is a content belongs to second volume, the material which I have not given to you. Yes, this is a problem, my dear. You come little bit. Since you asked about no, then I have to go there and bring to that content. That's why it takes little bit time. Otherwise, because I am addressing your query there and there. That's the reason it takes time. Circular. Same circular. What is there? Circular number in our study material, institute material. Institute material is best for us always. The issued material, na? This issued, what circular number, sir? Circular number is this what? 240. Is clear now? The same I would like to bring here, 240. Is clear, sir? Same circular. Now, today what I will do is, today or tomorrow, I will send to you a group amendments applicable for September 25 examination. Is clear, my dear friends? And for which time permits, today or by tomorrow, I will upload a separate video in YouTube, which everything if I take into this particular rapid revision class, it is not possible to cover. That's why today morning I sent to you one particular video, 20 minutes video. The web hosting services. Web hosting, sorry to say, data hosting services. Web hosting different. Data hosting services to cloud computing service providers. Place of supply. I sent to the group. You please go through at your convenient time. Likewise, I am going to be upload amendments applicable for our CA Final September 2025 exam separate video. Those amendments I will cover in the class, but not as separate amendments, along with my coverage. Now, this doubt has been asked. One of the amendment applicable for the September 25 examination I am referring here. Here, directly practical example. Now look here. If you refer this, one practical scenario. Quick Connect Service Private Limited, an electronic commerce operator that facilitates the supply of following service through its platform. Passenger transportation services are providing. 9.5 cover. Who liable to pay GST? E-commerce or Quick Connect. Is clear, sir? Platform services. They are providing platform, electronic platform, connecting the supplier and service recipient, for which charging the commission, which is forward charge. Monthly transaction for the month of January 25. Supply of passenger transportation services. They have provided 5 lakhs, 9.5 category, 5% GST, liable to pay 25,000. Platform commission 2 lakhs, on which they are liable to pay GST 18%, 36,000. Now they have two liabilities. You tell me, bro, this liability, which is 9.5, should pay by dash electronic cash ledger. Excellent. Is clear? This can be paid through GST or 2B. 2B must what? ITC. You get my point, sir? After ITC is the meaning of it. This is not ITC. It can be paid cash, electronic cash ledger, to electronic credit ledger as well as electronic cash ledger. Now, availed ITCs. Nature of input: software subscription 10,000, input services on which GST paid. Marketing expenditure 5,000, hosting service 8,000, renting of a office 18,000. Nature of input service ITC availed. Total ITC availed how much? 41,000. Entire ITC fully allowed. Against payment of 36,000. Get my point, sir? Excess ITC carry forward. Not required to reverse. But while paying this liability, should pay electronic cash ledger without input script. So that point here. Directly I am presenting summary. Summary enough, na? Summary. You see here. Liability how much? Under 9.5? 25,000. Paid by cash how much? 25,000. ITC not allowed. Not allowed to pay that amount. Coming to 36 rupees GST and 9(1), 41,000 ITC. Allowed? Excess ITC, carry forward. Liability to pay entering cash 0. As simple as. You ask the doubt. You just propose, I dispose. Is clear, my dear friends? Yes, one more doubt. So doubt can you have, na? Can you have the, I am not going to throw because very valuable. Very valuable. Somebody this side you have, ma? And somebody will have this. Yeah, sit. Because if it's fallen down means, again, my madam will scold me because she is the MD of Rafi Academy. Now listen. What is your doubt in this regard? Tell me, brother. One minute. Now tell me, Raja.
Sir, in this own supply platform fees there, no, sir? 36,000. Suppose in this question, if TCS was included.
See, what happened now, if you consider TCS here, then the TCS is the amount, net amount going to pay to the vendor.
Vendor.
That is all TCS. Not on 36 rupees TCS. 36 is supply commission.
It's net already.
This TCS not apply on 36,000 at any circumstances. Reason, we should know TCS provision. 36,000 commission is a consideration for whom? E-commerce operator. He is going to pay the tax 18%. TCS not apply on 36,000. On what amount TCS apply means, e-commerce operator himself is not the supplier of the goods or services. In that case only this particular TCS apply. Meaning what? This quick who is this fellow? Platform. From it has quick connect. Quick connect wala providing supply the goods of a Tata company, Sony company,
Not his own company.
others.
Other
That
companies.
means e-commerce operator, he himself is not the supplier of the goods. Somebody's goods is supplying through his platform and collecting the payment from the customer. When making the payment to the vendor, that amount only subject to TCS, not his own consideration. Therefore, you please wait for quite some time. When I am going to take up TCS chapter, will be crystal clear this.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
It's clear?
Yes.
Now come back. So got clarity? With this, I can say that reverse charge chapter concluded for your rapid batch. I have named as a rapid batch. It's clear, sir? And now I'm going with time of supply, where very important concept. Time of supply, you are aware of that. The time of supply gives us the correct due date to pay the GST, thereby to avoid the interest penalties in future. Now come back. When we talk about time of supply, we have supply of goods. Time of supply, we have supply of services. Time of supply, supply of goods, forward charge. Time of supply, supply of services, forward charge. Time of supply, supply of goods, reverse charge. Time of supply, supply of services, reverse charge. Time of supply for voucher. Time of supply for a default provision. Time of supply for the interest penalties. మనసులే అర్థమవుతుందా? పురిద్దామా నా சொல்றது? ఏమండి ఆన్లైన్ స్టూడెంట్స్, దెర్ ఆర్ మెనీ పీపుల్ ఫ్రమ్ ఆంధ్ర, తెలంగాణ. అర్థమవుతుందా అమ్మా? ఒకసారి చెప్పండి సార్. ఆన్లైన్ వాళ్ళు జాలీ హ్యాపీగా బట్ సిన్సియర్గా ఉండాలి, స్ట్రాంగ్గా ఉండాలి సబ్జెక్ట్ మీద. సబ్జెక్ట్ షుడ్ బి ఇన్ కైకుళ్ళి, ఇట్ షుడ్ బి ఇన్ యువర్ హ్యాండ్, బట్ బీ రిలాక్స్, కూల్. ఆన్లైన్ స్టూడెంట్స్ అర్థమవుతుందా? ఏంపా ఒక్కరు మాట్లాడారండి బాబు. మదర్ టంగ్ ఇస్ ఆల్వేస్ మదర్ టంగ్ రాజా. తమిళ్ నా తాయ్, అమ్మ తాయ్ లాంగ్వేజ్. Malayalam is ours pride. But what we can do, communication required in English because we are writing the examination in English. Maybe that day going to come, CA exam going to conduct in regional languages. Why not? May going to come. Online students, are you understanding? Just let me know, please. Tell me once before proceeding. Why online students are so shy, are so afraid? What is going on? Just looking from window. Be bold enough to fight with me, sir, in the subject. Online students, anyone, unmute and speak with me. Are you understanding? You won't have any mic at your place. In laptop, embed mic. Just unmute and tell me. So far, so good. Shall we proceed? Yes or no? Anyone unmute and speak with me, my dear. I'm not naming and all. I'm not asking you to open your video, show your face. Also, I'm not asking. Just tell me. My flow is good, going on. So far is good. Shall continue? Say yes or no. Viparia. Tell me, brother. Oh my God. Sir, try to understand. Online students, you are my below students. You are my students only. Once you come to my class, payment or not payment immaterial. You paid the fees, man. You paid the fees. Zero amount you paid. Zero amount is also amount. Numeric starts not from 1. Numeric start from 0. Zero rate of tax is rate of tax for exports. You get my point? Anyone tell me, you say I will continue, otherwise I'll stop it. My students are not happy, then why should I continue? Anyone please tell me, online students, I'm requesting you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Amma, please, Raja. Are you?
Yes, sir. We understood. Actually, there is no mic in my device, so I got connected with another device just to answer. Everyone are answering the message like this.
Oh, I'm extremely thankful to all of you, my dear. See, I'm very happy to note. We'll continue now. Yet, but there's what no reward for me. For me, your smile, your understanding, your good marks. Tomorrow, if you come and say, sir, I got 80 marks in IDT, it's really a pride to me also. Thanks, sir. Thanks, madam. We'll continue further. Now, looking here, time of supply, supply of goods, forward charge applies. Directly, I'm presenting here. If there's a case, is it supply involves movement of the goods, supply does not involve movement of the goods. One should refer that and understand. What do you mean by supply involves movement of the goods? What do you mean by supply does not involve movement of the goods? If you refer that example, I am H of Hyderabad, you are C of Chennai. You place the order to H of Hyderabad, send the purchase order for the want of the furniture. H of Hyderabad said, hey, C of Chennai, I have sufficient furniture. I am loading tomorrow in the truck. Will reach to you in day after tomorrow. The goods has been loaded in the truck. The goods came to Chennai on day after tomorrow. The goods moved. This is called supply involves movement of the goods. If so, as per section 31, sub 1 clause A, what is the time of supply? Means that what is the time at which the invoice should be issued? Time of supply, section 12, subsection 3. For which a invoice should be issued or not? When should we issue the invoice? Section 31, subsection 1, clause A says that invoice should be issued on or before movement of the goods. What do you mean this, sir? In simplified manner with visualization. One example on the screen. Look here. H of Hyderabad placed the order now. C of Chennai is a supplier here. When the purchase order made by H of Hyderabad to purchase the goods on 1st of August, the goods has been loaded and dispatched from the Chennai to Hyderabad on 29th October. Payment paid by H of Hyderabad on 1st of September. Invoice issued by that particular supplier, namely C of Chennai, on 15th October? If so, invoice has been issued in accordance with section 31 subsection 1 clause A. What do you mean that? It says that supply invoice movement of the goods, the invoice should be issued on or before the movement of the goods. When the movement of the goods taking place? 29th October. On or before 29th October, if the invoice has been issued, that is in accordance with 31(1) clause A. If so, the date of invoice, or the date, last day to issue invoice. Last day to issue invoice is what? Last day to issue invoice is the date of movement of the goods. When the movement of the goods taking place? 29th October. Last day to issue invoice 29th October. Date of invoice 15th October. Among the two, whichever is earlier. Which is earlier? 15th October is the time of supply as per section 12 subsection 3. You get my points? This is what the slide there in the material of yours. Look here, my dear. Forward charge. In case of other than specified actionable claims, earliest of invoice date, last date to issue invoice. If the invoice not issued in accordance with the section 31 subsection 1 clause A, then the last date to issue invoice is the time of supply. Sir, what about the payment, sir? Here, payment is not applicable, my dear. Payment is irrelevant in the case of supply of goods. Forward charge apply because there is a notification number 66/2017 of the Central Tax, which specifically says that in the case of supply of goods, advance payment cannot be a time of supply. In the case of forward charge, advance payment cannot be time of supply. That is the reason in the given case, my dear, supply involves movement of the goods when the payment received by the seller, namely Chennai fellow, from the buyer Hyderabad on 1st of September. This is irrelevant. Irrelevant. Why irrelevant? Notification number 66/2017 specifically says that advance payment for the in the case of supply of goods, forward charge apply, irrelevant. Is clear, my dear friends? Now, in case if the invoice not issued in time, not in accordance with section 31 subsection 3, that means invoice should be issued on or before dispatch of the goods. If the invoice issued later on, for example, invoice issued on 1st of November instead of a 15th of October, means date of dispatch of the goods when 29th. Last date to issue the invoice 29th October. Have you issued a? No, 1st of November. Then the 1st of November date compared with the date of last issue invoice, whichever is earlier. Which is earlier? 29th October is the time of supply. If you are liable to pay on a monthly basis, pay by 20th of the November. You get my points? Sir, I am a quarterly paying as taxpayer, sir. Quarterly QRMP. Then the time of supply is the quarterly basis. Means the due date to quarterly basis. Time of supply will be tax plus that time itself. October, November, December, for which you have to pay by 20th of the January. Get my point, sir? Quarterly we are going to make the payment. So, if you say time of supply for supply of goods, forward charge apply, what is the time of supply? Date of invoice or last date to issue invoice, whichever is earlier. That's it. Over. One is in your pocket now. This provision not applicable if you have been supplied specified actionable claims. Repeating, specified actionable claims. What are they? Specified actionable claims as per section 2, subsection 1 or 2, capital A, we have a list. 6 points are there. 1. Lottery, betting, gambling, horse racing, casino, online money gaming. In these cases, what is the time of supply for the supply of goods? Is goods only. Date of invoice, last date to issue invoice, or date of payment. Date of payment. Because notification number 66 oblique 217 not applied to online gaming, this particular specific actionable claims. Therefore, the law of the land here says three. One is date of invoice, two last date to issue invoice, three date of payment, whichever is earlier. If I bring a problem, I'm able to answer, sir. Let us check whether you are good enough or not. As a food for thought, I'm bringing to notice a particular problem in this regard. Answer to me on the screen itself. Reading as follows, my dear. Mrs. Pokery Private Limited supplied of online money gaming registered person under the GST located New Delhi. Supplied online money gaming, that is goods, on 1st January 2024 to Mr. Appavi of Chennai. Who will play online money gaming game? Appavi only will play. In online money gaming, there is no history of winners, and it is a bogus advertisement only coming to mesmerize the ordinary persons. Advertisement என்ன பேரு சுப்பிரமணியன், போன மாசம் நான் ரம்மி ஜம்மியில் 20 லட்சம் வின் பண்ணிட்டேன், நிஜமாவா? There is no history. A person owned the money and settled by playing with online money gaming. There is no history. If you are a winner, who is a loser? The person who conducted the online money game is a loser. His business is to earn the money. You get my point, sir? But knowingly, unknowingly, playing is very bad. Is a very, very bad habit to play. Even harmful, much more than the liquor meant for human consumption. Liquor slowly will affect it. This online money gaming addiction is going to kill like anything very fast. You being a CA tomorrow should guide your client properly. No, should not do that business. And the rate of GST also 28% in the given case. How much percent is that? 28%. Harmful. But anyhow, we want time of supply. In case of time of supply, in the given case, case 1, invoice issued on 1st February 24 and payment received on 26th December 2023. Now, in the given case, tell me what is the time of supply, TOS I want. 26th December 2023 is the time of supply, right? Why it is so? First case, because invoice date deposition, invoice date 15th February, one date kali vachukenge. This side 1st February, invoice date. Date of last date issue invoice 1st January, inside one side. Thereafter, date of payment 26th December, which is earlier 26th December among the three. Therefore, you are perfectly right, ma. Excellent. 26th December, correct. Now, coming to point number 2. Invoice issued on 1st February 2024 and payment received on 26th March 2024. What is the time of supply in the given case? 1st January. Excellent. Hats off to you. That's all. Section 12.3 is over. Is clear? Now, coming to section 12.3. 12.2 over 12.3. 12.3 is what? Reverse charge. Supply of goods, reverse charge. Can you recapitulate what are the goods supplied by us forms under reverse charge? 1. Cash on net, not peeled nor shielded. 2. Tendu leaves, BD leaves, excellent. Thereafter, tobacco leaves. Thereafter, raw cotton. And thereafter, silk and thereafter, citrus nasal products like peppermint oil and bergamot oil and all. Thereafter, the lottery tickets. Thereafter, priority sector lending certificate. The government or local authorities used or old goods or confiscated goods. The last, metal scrap. In all these cases, RCM apply or not? RCM applies. Who liable to be GST? Recipient. Supply of goods, RCM apply. Very, very, very simple. Presenting here. Just look and understand. In case of section 12, subsection 3, RCM applies where earlier of the following. 1. Date of receipt of the goods. Thereafter, or date of payment or first day after expiry of 30 days from the date of issue of invoice. Is clear? Among the three, whichever is earlier. Sir, speak out please. One, date of receipt of goods. Two, date of payment. Wait. Date of payment has two ingredients. Date of book entry, date of bank entry. Among whichever is earlier. Thereafter, 30 days expiry taken place, means first day that occurs after expiry of 30 days from the date of issue of invoice by the supplier. Among the whichever is earlier. As simple as that. Is it clear? Now, a doubt, I have a doubt here. Carefully listen. Cashew nuts not peeled, not shelled, supplied by agriculturalist, unregistered person, to a registered person. RCM? RC. Who should issue the invoice? Supplier cannot issue the invoice because agriculturalist, our Annadata, he cannot issue the invoice because unregistered person. Then payment of tax, there must be invoice or not? Tax invoice should be there. Who should issue the invoice? Here the law says, refer section 31, subsection 3, clause F. Speak out. Section 31, subsection 1, section 31, subsection 3, clause F says that supplier is an unregistered person, recipient is a registered person, supply RCM apply. The supply RCM apply. Recipient being a registered person only liable to issue the tax invoice. What is the time limit prescribed for the recipient to issue the invoice? Refer rule number 46 capital A. Get my point, sir? Rule number 47 capital A, not 46. That's 46 also there. 47 capital A, which says that time limit to issue the invoice within 30 days, from the date of receipt of goods. From the date of receipt of goods, should issue invoice within 30 days from the date of receipt of the goods by the recipient. Is clear? If the recipient issue the invoice, the date of invoice, or date of payment, or date of receipt of the goods, among whichever is earlier. Generally, date of receipt of the goods and date of payment will be earlier in general case. Get my point, sir? This point is there with us. You have to understand here. Rule number 47A is an amendment again from 1st November 2024 is applicable for the exam of September 2025. It is there in our material also, amendment material. Rule number 47A. Self-invoice. Who has to issue? Recipient. When supplier is a unregistered person, recipient is a registered person, supply falls under RCM. Then the recipient should issue the invoice within 30 days from the date of receipt of the goods. Is clear, my dear friends? Is here. Within a period of 30 days from the date of receipt of the said supply of goods. Is clear, sir? Because I'm talking the goods. So now come back. Come back to our regular study where we have here now the section 12 subsection 3. Time of supply, very important in the exam point of view because there are amendment taken place here. Here, earlier of the 3. In case of reverse charge comes into picture. Date of receipt for the goods, date of payment, or the first day that occurred after expiry of 30 days from date of issue of invoice by supplier. When the supplier will issue invoice, if the supplier is the registered person and the supplier falls under RCM, who should issue the invoice? Supplier. Get my point, sir? Get my point or not? If the supplier unregistered person as per section 31 section 3 clause F. Who should issue invoice? A recipient. Where it is under RCM. Within which period have to issue? Refer rule number 47A. Within 30 days from the date of receipt of goods. Is clear? Now come back. With this, the major content of the supply of goods is clear. Still we'll refer. Supply of services. Forward charge comes into picture. Supply liable to pay GST. Time of supply is as follows. Date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier, if the invoice issued in accordance with section 31, subsection 2. Get my point, sir? Invoice, date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier. If the invoice issued in accordance with section 31, subsection 2. What is mean that rule number section 31, subsection 2 says that, hey, Mr. Supplier of service, if you provide the services, being a registered person, you must issue the invoice within 30 days from the date of the completion of the service. If you not honor the section 31, subsection 2, that date of invoice we won't consider. Then date of completion of service or date of payment, whichever is earlier, is the time of supply. Is clear? In the case of a banking company or insurance company, the 30 days time period has been enhanced to 45 days. Coming to the supply of services, reverse charge. Now, just refer to reverse charge. So many cases, recovery agent services, renting of a motor cab to a body corporate by other than the body corporate, security services, that and this I refer on that. In all these cases, wherever the reverse charge apply in the case of supply of services, time of supply section 13, subsection 3 is as follows. Date of payment or the first day that occurs after expiry of 60 days from the date of the invoice issued by the supplier. If the invoice issued by the supplier, if the supplier is a registered person, if the supplier is an unregistered person, who should issue the invoice? A recipient, as per section 31, subsection 3, clause F, where the invoice should be issued by the recipient being a registered person within 30 days from the date of receipt of service. Now, this has been got amended for your kind consideration from 1st November 2024. It is there in our study material, amendment material issued by the CA Institute for September 25 examination. What is the time of supply from 1st November 2024? Is as follows. Time of supply for supply of services, RCM apply. This is there in the material which I given to you, sir. It is there well incorporated, my dear friends. It is there in your respective page. I will show the page number also. If you, for easy to trace for you, the material is available in the material in the particular soft copy manner. The page number also referred to you for kind consideration because the amendment it is. Hopefully the page number is 192. 192. If you refer here, reverse charge, time of supply, supply of services, date of payment, or the first day that occurs after expiry of 60 days from the date of invoice issued by supplier, if the supplier is required to issue the invoice. When the supplier will issue the invoice, the supplier is a registered person. Sir, supplier registered person, sir, then date of payment or date of issue of invoice by the recipient. Here 30 days or 60 days won't apply. Reason you know, sir? Such a invoice issued by the recipient in accordance with section 31, section 3, clause F, read with rule number 47, capital A, within a period of 30 days from the date of receipt of service. That invoice should be issued by recipient. Get my point, sir? If that is the case, date of issue of invoice by recipient or date of payment, whichever is earlier. If the invoice issued by the supplier, date of payment, the first day after expiry of 60 days from the date of issue of invoice by the supplier, among whichever is earlier. If not, date of payment or date of issue of invoice by the recipient, whichever is earlier. Got the clarity? Is an amendment provision, Raja, from 1st November 2024, for which the detailed provision are given here. With effect from 1st November 24, Finance Act 2024 is given. This and all list, the big list, if you read, you understand. Otherwise, the entire page, this page, you just take into your hand. आपके मुट्ठी में होना चाहिए. It is there in your hand. Then look this slide. That's all. In case of import of services between associated enterprises, who is an associated enterprises? Not defined in the Act. CGST Act, not there. We taken the reference from the Income Tax Act 1961, Section 92, capital A, which is Transfer Pricing Act, where they have defined associated enterprise, a big list. I will refer few points. One company giving the loan to other company without charging the interest. One company giving the guarantee for the other company debt. One company holding the other company not less than 20% of the shareholding and above. Or one person holding not less than 20% voting right in the other company. These two companies are called what? Associated company. So one associate enterprise outside India is other counterpart in India. In India, the associate enterprise imports from other company. That means holding company in Hong Kong, subsidiary company in Secunderabad in India. Subsidiary company in Secunderabad in India import these services from holding company in Hong Kong. Are they associate enterprise or not? Needless to say, they are associate enterprise. They are associate enterprise only. Chappanakkalledu, solla vena. Needless to say, they are associate enterprises. Then, in that case, who liable to pay GST? Subsidiary company in India, Secunderabad, is liable to pay GST under RCM. If so, what is the time of supply? Section 12, subsection, section 12, section 13, subsection 3 says, hey, Mr. Recipient, you made the payment to your supplier? Yes, sir, I made the payment. The date of making the payment to supplier or the date of making the book entry in the books of account by the recipient, amount to whichever is earlier is the time of supply. Got the clarity? Any difficulty in the given case? The cream layer I referred. If you have the control on it, on this particular thing, enough. You are the master in the time of supply if you have the control of this. Apart from that, we have certain more provisions on the time of supply. What is that, my dear? One is, in case of a continuous supply of services, continuous supply of services. Which one is called continuous supply of services as defined in section 2, subsection 33 of the CGST, a service completed by taking the time for a period more than 3 months. There you are, excellent, hats off to that. If that is the case, when should we issue the invoice? Has been explained. That I will provide to you. Continuous supply of services case. In case of continuous supply of services, my dear, invoice should be issued where this particular contract made by the supplier with the recipient, due date of payment ascertainable from the contract, due date of payment ascertainable from the contract, then on or before the due date, issue the invoice. That invoice date or payment date. In the given case, invoice date or payment, whichever is earlier. If the invoice not issued on or before the due date or payment date, whichever is earlier. Is clear? If the due dates are not ascertainable from the contract, invoice issued on or before payment received. Is clear, sir? If the invoice not issued, payment not issued, invoice not equal to issue. Invoice not equal to issue, payment not received. Payment not ascertainable from the contract. There is no time of supply. Third category, where the due date of payment is linked with percentage of completion of supply. Part completion, part payment. So due date of completion or date of invoice, whichever is earlier. That invoice date, compare date of payment, whichever is earlier. Simple to say, if the invoice issued on or before the due date, that you compare with the date of payment, whichever is earlier. As simple as that. Got the clarity? One simple as due date or date of payment, whichever is earlier. Due date or date of payment, whichever is earlier. By the time you have to issue the invoice, that is the time of supply. If the invoice not issued on due date or date of payment, whichever is earlier, if invoice not issued, which is no meaning, which is not required to refer, the invoice did not required to refer, which to be referred due date or date of payment, whichever is earlier. So in a simplified manner to say that, if you crush it, the juice is coming to our place as follows: continuous supply of services, due date or date of payment, whichever is earlier, in a simple shortcut manner. Is clear? With this, the supply of services, forward charge, reverse charge completed, and before that I referred supply of goods, forward charge, reverse charge. And one important point is there here. Sir, a supply further taken some accretions, meaning what? My name is Hewlett Packard. I sold the goods to Bharadwaj Institute. 50 laptops I sold. I am Hewlett Packard, HP. I sold 50 laptops to Bharadwaj Institute, 50 lakh rupees. I said, yeah, Bharadwaj Institute, you please make the payment within 1 month. If you not pay within 1 month, I will charge the interest. Okay, sir, he said. I supply the goods when 1st August 2025 I supply the goods. Due date to make the payment when 31st August 25. They have not paid the amount to me. When they paid in the month of October, 1st of October 2025 they paid. Now, how much they paid? 51 lakh. Which is 1 lakh what? Interest. Is it clear? Now, time of supply for 50 laptops is what date? Date of invoice or date of dispatch of the goods. Whichever last date to issue the invoice, whichever is earlier. Last date to issue invoice. Last date to issue invoice. 1st August. The date I supply the goods. Date of invoice I do not know. Last date to issue invoice what? 1st of August. 1st of August, time of supply for 50 lakh rupees. For which I have to pay GST 18%, namely 9 lakh rupees. When? By 20th of September. Is clear? When he paid on 1st October, 51 lakh he paid. For the 1 lakh interest, taxable or exempted? Taxable, because the main supply is taxable. If taxable 1 lakh, what rate taxable? The rate applicable for the main supply, what rate? 18%. We'll apply for 1 lakh. Very good. What is the time of supply for that 1 lakh? Means the law of the land here says section 12.6 or 13.6. Both supply of goods, supply of services. That 1 lakh interest is there, na? That 1 lakh interest, time of supply, date of receipt. Date of receipt of payment. When received? 1st October is the time of supply. You get my point, sir? If not received, no time of supply. Now one more section is there, section 12, subsection 4, voucher for supply of goods. Section 13, subsection 4, services, voucher. You know voucher? Yesterday I referred PPI, prepaid instrument. I referred on that. Prepaid voucher. Let us complete the time of supply, I will give the break. Half of the through this is not good. Complete. Today target, time of supply, place of supply, value of supply. Yes, if students are like that, best brains are sitting in front of me, why not? Because you are already aware of that, Raja. I am refreshing you. Time of supply, newly what I am referring means amendments I am bringing, some new circulars I am bringing and interlinking, that's all. Refreshing your intermediate memory. Now, listen all of you. And online students also, I am humbly requesting, you please participate by speaking with me. Sir, can you repeat again? Or I have a doubt this, sir. You please ask me, my dear. Make effective utilization. The moment I come to the class, you feel some confident. I got some knowledge on the subject to look ahead for my exams. Again, studying difficult at your end. IDT பொறுத்த மட்டுக்கும் my classes are sufficient. Attend and once you revise just up before going examination. Again, going on reading not preferable. Just 1 month ahead before examination. Correct, Amma? Time is very precious. So you have to have clarity in the class itself. You most welcome ask the doubt. I will address your doubt. First priority, I will address your doubts. Whatever doubt you ask in the subject matter, I will refer then and there. Like that only I am preparing and coming for class. At this point of time, humbly I am telling you, before coming to the class, minimum 2 to 3 hours I will study and come to the class. You get my point? If you ask the doubt, Ayyo, I do not know, gone. Student will be throw away such a faculty. Yes, sir. Helm of the affairs we are studying, Raja. CA final indirect taxes. I said no. Once you qualify, there is no examination to test your knowledge. Yes, in the indirect taxes. And moreover, with your qualification final passing degree of CA, you can directly appear DGGI post, Director General of Goods and Services Intelligence, Director level post, Group 1 level rank. Government offering. You have to write only one test exam, multiple choice questions. For you easy. Once you got good score, they will call for interview. Once you selected, you will be graduate level officer, Group 1 rank officer. You are only CA final degree certificate enough. CA final or CMA final degree certificate enough. You get my point? That much of priority for the CS in the indirect tax laws, especially GST. So now please come back, my dear, and look here. My point here, voucher, prepaid voucher handle we referred. What is the time of supply? Vouchers are 2 types broadly. It may be supply of goods, for supply of service can be redeemed. These vouchers, supply of goods or supply of services, 2 types broadly. Voucher is given to redeem only against a product or a service, that's all. One voucher, rupees 500, redeemable against only if you purchase shirt. If you purchase hat, pant, not allowed. Such a identified, specified product or service, redeemable voucher. Such a voucher issued, the date of issue of voucher is time of supply. Liable to pay GST. Because we know the rate of GST for that product. Na? Against shirt, 5% GST, 5% will apply. Whether redeem or not, time of supply arises. When you refer the voucher redeemable against any product or any service, then at the time of issue of voucher, we do not know exactly against what product he is going to redeem. Is it 5% or 12% or 18%? We do not know. Therefore, the time of supply has been postponed to actual date of redemption. If not redeemed, expired, no time of supply. Get my point, sir? As simple as that. It may be supply of goods, supply of service. Got the clarity? Section 12 series we covered, section 13 series we covered. Now I am coming to section 14 series, time of supply. Section 14 is what? Change in effective rate of tax. What is that? Change in effective rate of tax. Meaning what? There are 3 transactions took place. Date of completion of supply, date of invoice, date of payment. Among these 3, there is a change in the rate of tax. Meaning what? At the time of completion of my supply, 12% GST was there. At the time of receive the payment, 18% GST. At the time of issue the invoice, 18%. Whether liable to pay 12%, 18% now. Which rate applicable? Effective rate of tax is what? If there is a change in the rate of tax in between 3. What are they? Date of supply, date of invoice, date of payment. Are you getting my point? In that case, section 14 says, notwithstanding section 12 and 13, 14 apply. Means what? section 14 is overriding section. Na sonnada vedam. What I said is right. You have to follow. Says section 14. What section 14 says? Effective rate of tax. What section 14 says? That time of supply in the case change in the rate of tax. Is clear? Now, you relax and listen. You will appreciate my presentation here. One need not want to buy heart. Not further you could read. Straight away you can go to exam hall from the classroom. If you listen and understand. Time of supply not required for anything further. Now listen here. Mrs. Bharatwaj Institute BI Academy supplied taxable services for rupees 5 lakhs on let us say today date. Today is what? 5th August 2025. Is clear, Raja? Invoice issued on, let us say, 1st September 2025. Is it clear, Baba? Payment received from recipient on, let us say, 25th August 2025. Is clear, Russell? Here what happened? Rate of GST 18% till 20th September 2025 with effect from 21st September. GST increased to 28%. Find effective rate of tax. Thereafter, find time of supply. That's all. Now, I will present this in a simplified manner. You have to understand. When we talk about effective rate of tax, it may be supply of goods, it may be supply of services. The law of the land here says, follow the majority principle. Law majority solle, now I am telling you, if you majority principle, if two of them, Mr. A, Mr. B, fight in the poll, who will win? Who got majority? Correct? Now, here two of them are fighting the poll. Old rate. Old what rate? 18%. And new rate is what? 28%. Two of them fighting the poll. There are three voters are there. One voter name called as completion of supply. Supply of service. Completion of supply of service. One voter. Thereafter, one more voter. Let us say the date of invoice is clear, and one more voter is there. Date of payment. Like that, three of them are there. Now you tell me, brah, in the given case, date of completion service before the rate of change or after the rate of change? Date of completion, 5th August. 5th August means date of change from which date? 21st September. That means before change. That means what it was there? 18%. Or 28%? 18%. So date of completion of service cost the vote to old rate. One vote. Is clear? Then date of invoice. Invoice is issued 1st September. Date of payment when received? என்னம்மா 25th August. 25th August. Okay. 25th August. Now date of payment 25th August. So payment cost the vote to whom? New rate or old rate? Old rate. Old rate? Payment is when, Raja? August I said. If that is the case, I should have been said that instead of 25th of August, I should have to say that 25th of October I say. See, everything is before the change taken place, there is no change in effective rate of tax. I have said the basic platform is what? There must be a change in the rate of tax in between the date of completion of service, date of payment, date of receipt of, date of invoice, among the three. Correct? So I will say here October. Instantaneously prepare the problem, na? That's why need a correction. So date of payment when? October. 25th of October. Before change, after change? After change. New rate or old rate? New rate cost one vote here. Here this will cost the one vote here. So equally one vote. Date of invoice when issued? 1st September. Before change or after change? Before change. Here. Now, which is the majority here? 2 and 1. Old rate is the winner. Therefore, BI Academy liable to pay GST rate of 18% 5 lakhs. So, effective rate of tax is what? 18%. Is clear, Baba? Thereafter, time of supply. Very, very simple. Is supply of service, no? Time of supply. Now listen. You should have to have a base. Date of completion of service is the base. Date of completion is the base. Date of completion before change of rate of tax, after rate of change of tax. Before change, after change. Before change. So date of completion before change. With that date of invoice matching as a before change. If it is so, date of invoice, time of supply. If not, date of payment matching with the date of completion of supply of service. If so, date of payment is the time of supply. Sir, neither the date of invoice nor date of payment matching with the date of completion of supply of service, sir. In that case, be relaxed and cool. Date of invoice, date of payment, whichever is early is the time of supply. That's all. Section 14 in your pocket. Get my point, sir? Now, in the given case, date of invoice matching with the date of completion. Therefore, time of supply is equal to date of invoice. What is that? First September 2025 is the time of supply. Rate of tax 18%. Is clear? If I bring the problem, able to answer examination problem it is. Hope so you answer this. Let us see. It is supply of services, ma. Same as supply of goods. There won't be any change except one case. Majority principle same. Decide the rate of tax based on the majority principle. Time of supply portu matuku, time of supply is considered. Be careful. Time of supply of goods, payment is not a time of supply. No. Time of supply for supply of goods, we have not considered payment date. Correct, amma? Except specified actionable claims. அதனால என்ன பண்ணணும்? Time of supply, blindly you close your eye and say that date of invoice or last date to issue invoice, whichever is earlier. Repeating, date of invoice or last date to issue invoice, whichever is earlier is the time of supply. That's it. In the case of goods, supply of goods, where it falls under section 14. This is a provision of what? Section 14. Section 14 of CGST Act. Is clear, my dear friends? Yes. Now we will talk about here. In case of supply of goods, section 14 refers majority principle for deciding rate of tax. Is clear? Then time of supply is earlier of date of invoice or last date. Excellent. Last date to issue invoice. That's it. Get my point? We work out a problem on it now. Then a problem from the workbook. One problem. Page number 69 in our workbook, which is I already supplied to you. I made available to you. Exam problem ಇದೆ, CA final exam problem in fact. Reading as follows. Mr. Aravind Mehta, an interior designer registered in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, provides the service to one of his client, Zenith Infra Solutions, registered in Pune, Maharashtra. The provision of service was completed on 5th July and the payment received was entered in the books of account of Aravind Mehta on 6th July. With effect from 12th July, the applicable rate of GST increased to 5%, increased from 5% to 12%. However, payment for the service received was credited to his bank account on 13th July, and the invoice for the same was raised on 20th July. Mr. Arvind Mehta claimed that he is liable to pay IGST 5%, but the department took the view that he is liable to pay IGST 12%. Examine the correctness of the Mahendra Sharma contention and determine the time of supply and applicable rate of tax as per the statutory provisions. Would your answer change if the payment was credited to the bank account on 10th July before the rate of tax? Here one thing should understand, my dear. I said 3 points. What are 3 points I said? Date of completion of service, date of invoice, date of payment. Date of payment here undoubtedly date of book entry or date of bank entry, whichever is earlier. But since it is a change in effective rate of tax, if so, from the date of change taken place within 4 working days, within 4 working days from the rate of change in the rate of tax, within 4 working days, if the banker given the credit, then date of book entry, date of bank entry, whichever is earlier. Suppose if the banker given the credit after expiry of 4 working days from the date of the change taking place in the rate of tax, then the bank entry is the only date of payment. That's all, nothing else. Is it clear, my dear? Is there in the material, ma? It's not a new thing, Baba. Have I said new thing to you or what? No. There is a clear-cut information. Look here. Date of payment in case of change in rate of tax. Now come back to a problem. In the given problem, Arvind Mehta, when you provide the service, brother, service completed when? 5th July. So 5th July is one date. Thereafter, then payment received when? 6th July. So is another date. Thereafter, invoice issued, they given a 20, where they said, ma? Examine the correctness of method. Here they said 10th July is a, would your answer different?
Invoice for the same was raised on 20th July.
20th July. This is what important. one should know 20th July. Is clear, sir? Now, the change rate of tax is different from, that means before 12th July rate was, after 12th July 12%. So 5% is a old rate, new rate is a 12%. Now the point here 12th July, before 12th July service completed, therefore one vote. Thereafter payment received 6th July, means before 12th July. Payment received was entered in the books of accounts when 6th July. So 6th July 1 date, then bank account created when 13th July. That means what, 12th July change taken place, within 1 day got created in the bank account. Upon date of bank entry, date of book entry, whichever is earlier. Which is earlier? 6th July. Therefore old rate. Payment also old rate. Invoice when issued 20 after the change taken place. That means old rate got a 2 vote, new rate got a 1 vote. Therefore who is the winner? What is that applicable? 5%. So here Arvind Mehta claimed that he is liable to pay IGST 5%, but department demanding 12%. Department incorrect. Is clear? 5% applicable. Now on what value 5% applicable? The value of supply. Now time of supply when? Time of supply, listen, date of completion of service. With the date of completion of service, payment is matching, date of invoice matching. Payment matching. Invoice is 20th July. Date of completion is the base amma. Date of completion when? 5th July. 2, that means old rate. Before change, completion taking place. With that completion, invoice matching means what? Invoice before completion, after, before change, after change. Invoice 28th July. Change taking place when? 12th July. After change taken place, invoice issued. But my completion of service before change. So invoice not matching. Payment is matching 6th July. Change taking place 12th July. Before change taken place. That means completion also before change. Payment also before change. So time of supply is equal to payment date. What is the payment date? 6th July. 6th July is the payment date. 6th July is the payment date. Get my point? That's coming to last point. If the bank given the credit 10th July, 10th July or 6th July, whichever is earlier, same answer. Our answer remains same. That's get my point, sir? If you refer here, the rate applicable in the given case is applicable what rate? Here refer book entry or bank entry. There's all explanation taking place, and effective rate of tax. What is mentioned here? 5%. 5%. Effective rate of tax is 5%, and our answer remains same. Even if it is on 10th July, in the payment is created. Is clear as sir? Everything is correct in the answer? Check. The applicable rate of GST is 5%. For supply, time of supply, applicable rate of GST 5% will remain same. And here they said okay, and here is okay, and 14. Yeah, the 5% is mentioned here. Correct? Any difficulty up to this? With this, I can say that explanation to time of supply is completed, but time of supply advanced concept is there. That is what examination requirement. That I will refer to you after having a break of 10 minutes from now. Is clear?
But TCS is mandatory only when you're paying part tax. You full tax pay பண்றீங்கன்னா அப்போ உங்களுக்கு TCS not applicable. Yeah. Input tax TCS சரி ஓகே அவர் லைட்டா அப்படியே தூக்கிட்டு போனாரு. நீங்க தூங்கினது பிடிச்சிட்டீங்கன்னு அவருக்கு இன்னைக்கு மோசம் முடிப்பீங்களா இவரு கொஞ்சம் குழப்பிட்டாரு. படிக்கல நான் ஓட்டிங் மெக்கானிசம் சொல்லிருக்கா இது 18 19 வந்தாங்க. இப்படி இன்னும் ரெக்கார்டிங்
வாங்க வாங்க சார் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுவோம். Shall we start? 5 minutes only over. 5 minutes only over. Not 10 minutes. Okay. 10 minutes I said, but 5 minutes only over. Because workload is so much. Entire syllabus have to carry now. So I'm having the schedule with me, date wise, chapters to be complete. Target. We will start, my friends. 10 minutes means 10 minutes exactly we have to stand on that. Okay. So, further continuation, referring to here, the clarifications with regard to time of supply. There is a hybrid annuity model project. What do you mean this hybrid mode? Means here generally government contributing certain amount, private parties spending some amount as a public and private partnership form manner, PPP, public and private partnership. But this hybrid annuity model is something meritorious than that of the PPP. How it is beneficial means, I am a contractor, I joined with the government to carry a particular project, to accomplish the particular project, where my contribution some amount, government contribution some amount to carry the project, means we are investing the amount, and for doing so I have to get from the government certain amount. My amount of consideration obviously higher than the amount of my investment. Sir, understandably not catchword, sir. Simple, my dear. Look here. In the case of construction of roads, especially construction of roads, highways, bridges, tunnels, when there is a government contribution and private contractor who own that particular contract is his contribution as investment. In the given case, the private contractor we used to call concessionaire, who is a supplier of service. Who is a concessionaire? What do you mean it? One to whom a concession, that is land or right, has been granted by an authority, one who holds usage right, not right to own, right to use that land, government land, on which road construction, for which the government as well as the private parties coming forward join together as a partners. In that case, the private party is called concessionaire. Then in that case, here if you refer with one example, I will tell you, assume a scenario, a case of construction of a road. It takes, for example, 5 years time to lay the highway. After laying the highway, completion of service, the road should be maintained. Operations and management, O&M will come, which is for example for 10 years. The total project how much? 15 years. Assume a scenario, for example, I am telling you, the total project cost 1000 crores. That 1000 crores where 200 crores investing by the government, 800 crores investing by the private party, namely concessionaire. Investment how much per concessionaire? 800 crores. In return, over a period of 15 years, he will get from the government, let us say 1200 crores. Investment how much? 800 crores. He is going to get 1200 crores. Is clear? Huh? Now 1200 crores he has to get from the government over a period of 15 years. For 5 years completion of the project, on completion of the 5 years project, 200 crores will be released. Balance 1000 crores will be released over a period of balance 10 years. 10,000 crores for 10 years. Per year, how much will come in? 100 lakhs, namely 1 crore. 1 crore. Time value of money is there, no? Today's 1 rupee not equal to tomorrow's 1 rupee, correct? Therefore, interest. So, every year 1 crore, 100 lakhs plus interest 10 lakhs, for example. Over a period of 10 years, every year 110 lakhs, 110 lakhs. 100 lakhs his contribution amount plus 10 lakhs interest there. This is what this project runs. When this particular contractor, concessionaire, when completed the project over a period of 5 years, he got how much? 200 crores he got. Get my point, sir? The balance 1000 crores will be get over a period of 10 years with the interest. Department says, what is the time of supply for the given case? Time of supply of forward charge. Time of supply, section 13, section 2. Date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier. So, invoice not issued for the balance amount. Only 200 crores only invoice issued. Balance 1000 crores ka invoice not issued. He is going to issue over a period of time every year. Date of completion, date of payment. If the invoice not issued, from the date of completion of service, within 30 days invoice not issued, what happened? Date of completion of service or date of payment, whichever is earlier. Is clear? So, department says, hey, concessionaire, contractor, for you, the balance 1000 crores, time of supply arises now as a date of completion or date of payment, whichever is earlier. This fellow crying, sir, on 1000 crores you want me to pay the GST? This 1000 crores I am going to get over a period of 10 years. Department send the notice and confirm the demand, Raja. And the person who got this contract has to pay thousands of crores of rupees of GST. He went to court. The matter is in the pipeline of the court. At that junction, CBSE entered. Hey, field formation, department officers. Unfair, no? This concessionaire not got a single rupee. He is not providing service O&M operation management for 10 years. Completion of project 5 years. Project completed. If the project completed, from the date within 30 days invoice not issued, you are telling date of completion or date of payment, whichever is earlier, is time of supply for the entire 1200 crores. From where he will pay the tax? Unfair. Therefore, I am instructing circular. You follow it. In this given case, strictly have to follow the following time of supply. What is the time of supply here? They mentioned means time of supply is, it should be treated as a continuous supply of service. If it is a continuous supply of service, one point will refer to supply, due date to pay or date of payment, whichever is. If the invoice issued on time, date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier. Invoice issued on time means what? Invoice should have been issued before the due date or before due date. If the due date is mentioned in the contract, if not mentioned, it is payment linked with the date of completion of supply. Each time of part of completion on or before the completion, issue the invoice. If issue the invoice on time, the date of invoice compare with date of payment, whichever is earlier is the time of supply. If the invoice not issued on time, no problem. Due date to pay or date of payment, whichever is earlier, is the concept. Get my point, sir? That means in the given example, for the first 200 crores received on completion of the project for 5 years, road completion is the time of supply. The balance 1,000 crores every year receiving how much? For 10 years, 100 crores, 100 crores, 100 crores, and interest also thereon. For that, due date or date of payment, whichever is earlier, is the time of supply. You get my point, sir? Is the clarification is with us. The second one more mind-blowing clarification it is. You are aware of that spectrum? Spectrum means 2G spectrum, now 4G. 2G is famous, but now 4G also almost there. 5G spectrum. Spectrum nothing but, Raja, a space available in the satellite for our telecommunication purposes. This is owned by the Department of Telecommunications and allotting the license to telecom operators for usage of that particular space. Spectrum license we call it. Such a spectrum license allotted by the Department of Telecommunication to telecom operators Airtel, Vodafone, Jio, BSNL and all. They are the recipient. It is RCM. Is a RCM. Here the law here says, in the given case RCM, if you apply section 13 subsection 3, date of payment or the first day that occur after expiry of 60 days from the date of a invoice issued by supplier, otherwise the date of invoice by the recipient, whichever is earlier, that provision should not invoke. This reverse charge the ottikire. Reverse charge, I agree, but section 13 subsection 3 provision don't apply. Then what provision should apply, sir? Apply it as a continuous supply of service. Apply for this given case continuous supply of service, because the license agreement runs for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. For example, license granted for 5 years. License fee, spectrum license fee, 1,000 crores. There are two options. Pay upfront, 1,000 crores, or pay in installments. 1,000 crores is there. If you paid na, income tax department will come and sit. Where are you? Who are you? How much you paid? 1,000 crores you paid na, that much money if you have, show the details. Generally, telecom operators will go for installment payment. Upfront payment difficult, we will pay installments. So, in that case, what is the time of supply? Under RCM, not as per section 13, subsection 3. It should be as per continuous supply of service. Simple. Due date to pay or date of payment, whichever is earlier. Due date to pay or date of payment, whichever is earlier, is time of supply. That's it. This is to be followed for all type of similar services. They said in the circular is not only clarification for the spectrum usage, but also similar services. Meaning what? Supplier should be a government, recipient should be a business entity, it should be RCM, and the supply should be taking place for a period more than 3 months. If these conditions are satisfied, time of supply should be as per the continuous supply service, not as per the section 13(3). Get the clarity? With this, time of supply chapter is concluded concrete manner for your batch of rapid revision classes for our September 25 examination. Now I am going to take up gigantic manner, very powerful topic, chapter called as place of supply. Place of supply chapter. Very, very important, without which question paper generally not going to put it at final level. Take it to granted. place of supply without which there is no question paper so far printed. Can you agree with me? There is no question. If a question paper printing for you at final level indirect taxes without referring the place of supply, that is not a GST question paper. Place of supply that much important. Why that much important? Means the entire GST is running successfully on the place of supply basis. Many of them used to say place of supply means what? Location of supply in one state, place of supply in the same state, international supply liable to pay CGST, HST. If it is a different state, IGST liable to pay. For that purpose of place supply, absolutely not, my dear. Place of supply is a deciding factor of revenue sharing between the central and state, which is one of the foundation stone to bring the GST. GST is a dual tax structure. Revenue sharing between central and state. Yes or no? One simple example I will give to you, for which the recent circular issued by CBSE. Assume a scenario. I am from Chennai. My name is Mr. Vikram. As a trader, I am selling cell phones. I am selling. My cell phones 10,000, 12,000 range up to 50,000 range. I am from where? From Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Registered person Vikram. One Mr. B of Bangalore approached me through online, through e-commerce operator, for the want of my cell phone, which is worth rupees 8,999. I am selling. If I sold through internet the goods to a particular buyer, where to a particular buyer is, let us say, in Bangalore. If there's a case, for me, place supply goes to Bangalore. I am a Tamil Nadu person. Supply Tamil Nadu. Recipient Bangalore. Shall I charge CGST, HGST or IGST? IGST. Who is levied the IGST? Who is collecting the IGST? That means who is administering and who is collecting? Administered by the central government of India. IGST is act enacted in the central government by the parliament. That GST collected by central government of India. So collecting and administering by central government of India. But as you are aware of that, IGST is not the revenue of the central government of India. Is clear, sir? Now, IGST should be apportioned between the central and the state. Which state government? There are two states are involved, Tamil Nadu as well as Karnataka. Which state will get the revenue? The state in which the goods or services got consumed. After all, what is GST? GST is a consumption based destinated tax. Am I right or not? So the importing state only will get the revenue, not the exporting state. In that case, importing state here is what? Karnataka. Karnataka will get the revenue. Whatever revenue getting the Karnataka state as a end state, the same revenue will get as a CGST to the central government. So the IGST should be split equally, and that amount CGST equal amount of SGST. CGST is the revenue of central government, SGST is the revenue of the state of Karnataka. Such a splitting happening as a back-end process in the GST network portal with the help of Central Clearing Agency. Central Clearing Agency, a robot mechanism, artificial intelligence functioning in the network portal. It is going to be split. Is clear? Only when in the invoice issued by the supplier mentioned the buyer is belongs to Karnataka state. Correct? Vikram issued the invoice for rupees 8,999, for which buyer is Karnataka. The state name should mention or not. Then only it is possible. In my invoice, when I issue the invoice by mentioning the state name of the buyer, then only possible the revenue can be settled. Correct? Suppose by mistakenly, if I mentioned Tamil Nadu state is a recipient, if I mention like that by mistakenly, then what happened? It become intrastate supply. Then CGST, SGST. But the goods got consumed Karnataka state. So here Tamil Nadu state is not supposed to get the SGST as a revenue, but incorrectly it goes to as a revenue of the Tamil Nadu state. The Karnataka state will affect or not? Therefore, you must be clearly mentioned whenever, hey Mr. Registered person, whenever you supply the goods or services to other state, interstate supply, if you made it, one of the mandated requirement in the tax invoice, the recipient state should be mentioned. Not only that, place of supply should be mentioned. In the invoice, you have mentioned place of supply. Correct? Get my point, sir? In the invoice, mandatorily mentioned the recipient state. In the case of interstate, outward supply. And place of supply also should be mentioned in invoice. In the case of interstate, outward supply. Come back. I am giving only introduction only. I have not entered to places I have not entered. Now there is an amendment taken place in the recent past by way of circular. This is an amendment. Why this amendment required? First of all, what the practice we have followed, being an industry, that requirement of amendment is warranted. If I supply the services, carefully listen, if I supply the services through OTT, OTT platform, Netflix, Prime is coming in OTT channels, where one Miss Priyanka from Bangalore subscribed for Netflix for 1 month by paying 499 rupees. How much? The supplier of this OTT platform network is from Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Payment received through online and connection is given. Priyanka, when he issued the invoice, rule number 46, careful listen, rule number 46, clause F, rule number 46, clause F says, if the value of supply of service to unregistered person less than rupees 50,000, not required to issue invoice by mentioning the name and address of the recipient. Repeating, rule number 46, clause F. There, supplier registered person supplied the services to unregistered person, Miss Priyanka, unregistered person only. OTT for personal purpose only she subscribed for entertainment purpose. Now what happened? This service less than rupees 50,000 to unregistered person. Not required to issue invoice by mentioning recipient name and address unless the recipient wants for it. If the recipient says, hey supplier, where is my invoice? Apdiya, invoice I am going to provide. Like that, if the recipient asks, I am bound to provide. If the recipient not ask, not required to mention the invoice, the recipient name and address. Is clear? Now Chennai fellow, supplier of OTT platform, got 499 rupees from Miss Priyanka, unregistered person from Bangalore. She has not demanded the invoice. So I have not mentioned the address of the recipient in my invoice. Then what happened? I had to pay GST or not? I decided is a place of supply, location of supply. Location of supplier. Because address is not available. Address of the recipient is not available with the supplier. Therefore, it is decided as a location of supplier is a place of supply. Now what happened? I have to charge CGST, HGST. Actually, I supposed to charge IGST because this service got consumed Bangalore, Karnataka. Now, like that, if I incorrectly decide the place of supply, the revenue sharing between the states will be get affected or not? That is the reason you being a tax consultant, you being a chartered accountant, you should correctly decide place of supply for your client. You get my point, sir? For this, there is a circular issued by CBSE saying that, hey, these taxpayers, in the given case, irrespective of the value of supply, supplied the service through online, Raja. Supplied service through online for that services, irrespective of the value of supply. You must mention in the invoice the address of the recipient. At least the state name of the recipient should mention. Is a provision. In the case of supply services through online, mandatorily you have to mention in invoice name of the state of the recipient. Karnataka, Tamil Nadu supplier, IGST apply will be collected and received by the central government. Will apportion between central and state. Which state? Karnataka state. So the state where the service got consumed got the revenue, SGST. Is the right approach or not? Is an amendment. This amendment, which I have given to you as introduction to place of supply, which is there in our amendment material issued by the CA Institute with regard to place of supply. See, this place of supply. So far I referred to, my dear. So far I referred to, because my students are final level, they know about the place of supply. Am I right or not? That's why I taken the priority, that liberty, to give this circular as introduction to the topic called place of supply. Here what happened now, sir? 3 cases. Proviso 2, rule number 46, clause F. Proviso says, if the supply in the following is online money gaming, supply of goods. 2, online services like OTT platforms. 3, OIDR services, online information database access retrieval services. In these 3 cases, irrespective of the value, a supplier should be mentioned, state name of the recipient is the address of the recipient. Get my point, sir? How many pages know this one? 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, 3 pages. Circular has been explained to you as an introduction to the topic called place of supply. Is our study. That is our level of study at helm of the affairs, final level. With this introduction, referring the place of supply chapter, my dear. Here we have place of supply for supply of goods, place of supply for supply of services. As I told to my introductory welcome address I made to you by way of separate small 2 minutes video. Have you read that? I said to you, come sir, just come and see, I will take care of my defense. I promise you, you will just understand the subject like anything. And I am going to present in lollipop manner in a particular simplified diagrammatic presentation. Have I said or not? You won't forget the provisions even after you qualify. Can you forget the provision now? This circular what I given to you. What are the cases? Online money gaming supply of goods, 2, OIDR services or online services. In these 3 cases, irrespective of the value of the supply should be mentioned, the address, the state name of the recipient. Thereby, revenue sharing will take place properly. Is clear? Now please come back. Like in this process, the entire supply of goods, place of supply is here I presented. It is in the case other than the import or export of goods. In the case other than the import or export of goods. the goods supplied within India. Section 10, subsection 1, followed by clause A, clause B, clause C, clause CA, clause D, clause E of IGST Act. Whenever you refer the place of supply, the section belongs to IGST only. In this process, section 10, subsection 1, clause A. What is the place of supply for supply of goods? The supply involves movement of the goods. If the supply involves movement of the goods, place of supply is equal to where the movement of the goods are going to terminate it. Delivered. Movement terminated, nothing but delivered. Provided the transaction should be B2B. Transaction should be business to business, meaning what? Supplier must be registered person, the recipient also be registered person. How to understand in the best effective manner this one here is as follows. Furthermore, diagrammatic visualization in a simplified manner presenting to make you understand. Now look here. Supply involves movement of the goods. What do you mean this? C of Chennai, registered person, seller of the goods. H Limited of Hyderabad, buyer, also be registered person. Supply the goods by, for example, by road, means in a vehicle through by road. Supply involves movement of the goods. Movement of the goods terminated where? Hyderabad. Place supply goes to Hyderabad. Location of supplier? Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Intrastate or interstate? Interstate. Liable to pay, if you liable to pay, IGST. Is clear? Coming to next. Supply of goods upon the direction of a third person. Goods are delivered on the direction of a third person. In that case, sir, the principal place of business of the third person. This is generally happening in the case of bill to ship to model. What do you mean this? How to understand bill to ship to model? I am presenting here. Look on the screen. A Tamil Nadu buyer placed the purchase order on 1st January to Telangana supplier. Telangana supplier willing to send the goods to Tamil Nadu buyer. Tamil Nadu buyer requested, seller, that goods if you send to Tamil Nadu, again I have to send that goods to my job worker who is in Vijayawada or Andhra Pradesh. So from Telangana all the way coming to Tamil Nadu, again going back to Andhra Pradesh is a tedious job. So please, I am requesting you, you supply the goods to my job worker Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh, and you bill to me, I will make the payment to you. It's called bill to ship to, billing to buyer, shipping to consignee. In that case, seller agreed. Send that goods, ship to Andhra Pradesh job worker, and the buyer got a bill for making the payment. For the seller, Telangana seller, what is the place of supply for Telangana seller? Means here the principal place of a third person, buyer. In between, the goods are moving from Telangana to Andhra Pradesh. The buyer is a third person. But in fact, buyer is a party to buy the goods. The principal place of the location of the third person, the law here says, sentence will confuse you, but don't get confused. Principal place of business of a third person. Who is a third person in our given case, in the given example, means the Telangana buyer in Tamil Nadu. The place of supply for him is equal to Tamil Nadu. He is from where? Telangana. For him it is an interstate supply. Now you tell me in the given case. in the given case? You have to speak. X limit Mumbai, reach a person. Y limit Chennai, reach a person. Z limited Chennai, reach a person. Now goods are moving from where to where? Here goods are moving from where to where means from the Chennai to Chennai only, but billing to Mumbai fellow. For the Chennai fellow, what is the place of supply? Place of supply is nothing but Mumbai. Get my point? The goods moving within the state of Tamil Nadu, not moved from Tamil Nadu. Is clear as this question has been asked in the exam of CA final subjects before. By mistakenly, Y Limited Chennai charge IGST. By mistakenly charge CGST, SGST. CGST and SGST. SGST charged. But liable to be charged IGST. If you paid CGST, SGST instead of IGST, then the law says you have to pay IGST now. Claim refund of CGST, SGST, which is section 77 of the CGST refers. Get my point, sir? Sir, am I liable to pay interest for delay payment of IGST? Not required to pay because you already paid the CGST, SGST equivalent of IGST, but which is incorrect account. Therefore, you have to pay now correct account of IGST and ask for refund of CGST, SGST. Got the clarity, sir? Further, 10(1)(c). Supply does not involve movement of the goods. Means what? Here, yeah, this one, Amma, Raja, this one. Refund part. Yes. I will refer that by inviting from the volume number 2 material. Volume number 2 material I have not sent. I will send today. That way also keep with you because why should I delay it? Readily available. Only thing is, when I'm going to start, நான் கொடுத்துலாம் நினச்சிட்டு இருந்தேன். இப்போ லஞ்ச் பேக் நான் கொடுத்துறேன் part 2 material also. Okay, yeah? So for you asking that section 77, I use the word what? 77, which I'm presenting here from volume 2 material. Look here. Diagrammatic federation. If you ask enough for me, I will provide. Look on the screen, please. Tax wrongly collected and paid to government, section 77. I just paid wrongly, for example. However, CGST, SGST liable to pay. Now, pay CGST, SGST. Interest is not liable to pay. Claim refund of IGST. On the other hand, CGST and SGST paid wrongly. However, IGST is liable to pay. Now you pay IGST, not required to pay interest. Claim refund of CGST. But is a premature to refer, but you are mature enough to understand. Refund should be strictly as per section 54. Time limit is there. Within 2 years from the relevant date. If not, then you cannot claim refund. Within the time limit, if you not apply for refund, this CGST, SGST what you paid wrongly, can't ask for refund, you have to pay IGST. You get my point, sir? Oh, be careful. Now please come back. Doubt? Mic is there with you? Hold the mic, Raja. Doubt, tell me, Amma.
Sir, in May 25 exam, there was a question which was asked that there is an unregistered person ordering from some dealer, but then delivery was asked to be given to his sister who's living in some other state.
Go
And
ahead.
they asked, where is the place of supply?
I'm coming with the point.
Okay.
I'm not going to explain it. It's clear, Amma? Now please come back. Actually, where we are? We are in the process of identifying place of supply. Correct, Baba? Section 10(1)(a) we understood. Supply involves movement, where the movement terminates supply. 10(1)(b), where place of third person to supply. 10(1)(c), supply does not involve movement, which I am explaining now. Correct? Yeah. Supply does not involve movement of the goods. Simple. Place of supply where the goods are actually held. At the time of supply, where the goods are actually located. Now, a limited trader, registered person, partner. A person came from Chennai, who is also registered person. I am talking about, he is also a registered person only I am referring, because the amendment taking place now. Registered person came all the way from Chennai to Patna, Bihar, to his shop. In his shop, he purchased the goods. The goods are available in the shop. Where the goods are located? Where located? Patna. Location supplier? Patna. It is interstate or intrastate? Intrastate supply. Liable for CGST, HGST. Provided the transaction should be dash. B2B. B2B irkunum. Is clear, sir? Now, coming to the point here. Here, we have a new section, new clause in section 10(1), clause CA. CA. Section 10, subsection 1, clause CA. What it says here is, notwithstanding section 10(1), clause A, notwithstanding this, notwithstanding 10(1)(c), 10(1)(ca) is applied if the transaction is B2C. B2C, meaning what? The recipient is a unregistered person. Buyer is an unregistered person. Then which provision will come into picture? 10(1)(ca). Though the supply involves movement of the goods, though the supply not involved movement of the goods, place of supply should be as per section 10(1)(ca), where 10(1)(ca) says that location of the recipient is the place of supply. Location of the recipient is the place of supply. To bring true spirit of revenue sharing, I am Mr. Bhuvan. I came from, let us say, West Bengal. I am a migrant labor. From West Bengal I came, Raja. I am a thumber. I came to Chennai, Tamil Nadu, as a contract labor for construction purpose. I have been worked in Chennai in construction field as a labor for almost 365 days. I got some savings. Now festival is coming. I want to go to my hometown to meet my beloveds. My wife asking, can you bring a gift to me? I promised, definitely will bring the gift for you. Then I went to market to purchase a cell phone for gifting to my wife. She is residing in West Bengal. Get my point, sir? I approached a shopkeeper, Purvika shop, Samsung cell phone, rupees 10,000. I bargained. He given bargain, 500 rupees reduced. I am very happy to pay 9,500 rupees, my hard-earned money. I given to him. That attract GST or not? Attract GST. Bhuvan is a migrating labor, registered person. Registered person. In Tamil Nadu, he approached a shopkeeper to buy a cell phone. Cell phone wala sell that product and want to raise the invoice. He asked me, "आप किधर से है भाई?" I replied, "हम वेस्ट बंगाल से है." आपका एड्रेस किस पता नहीं है means what? Address and I do not know, but I belongs to West Bengal. That much only I said. Then this gentleman seller, buyer name Bhuvan, state West Bengal. Enough. The state name is sufficient, is a deemed to be address of the recipient. As per section 10, subsection 1, class CA. Then supplier Purvika Chennai, buyer Bhuvan West Bengal. Interstate supply or intrastate supply? Inter or intra? Interstate supply. Liable to pay IGST or CGST? IGST. If you charge IGST, then department, namely the GST network portal, which is recognizing it as a IGST, Government of India administering and collecting IGST. And it should be apportioned between central and state. Which state? West Bengal, very clearly mentioned. Place supply is what? West Bengal, as per 10.1 CA, notwithstanding 10.1 A, 10.1 C. Is clear, sir? This is what? One provision. Further, what happened? Amendment taking place here again. There are people are buying the goods through e-commerce operator. So this Purvika company selling the cell phone through e-commerce operator, through Amazon. Get my point, sir? Now Bhuvan is a West Bengal fellow, a smart guy. Not went to shop. He opened the Amazon app. Samsung, very good. Price through online, 8,999 only. Get my point, sir? Therefore, he want to book that cell phone. He booked that cell phone through online. Who is a marketing worker from West Bengal. Now, he given his address, Tamil Nadu address, as a buyer. Buyer had a Tamil Nadu address. Delivery address, he said, he want to give a surprise to his wife. Directly, deliver should be West Bengal address. Like that, if the buyer is an uninsured person, buying the goods through online, delivery address different from billing address. Billing address, Tamil Nadu. Delivery address, West Bengal. Like that, he given two different addresses and booked the cell phone. Purvika hand over the cell phone to Amazon. Amazon was delivered at a doorstep of the West Bengal. Now, among the two, there are two addresses are there. What is 10.1 CSS? 10.1 CSS, address of the recipient is the place of supply. If the address not available, state name of the recipient is the place of supply. 10.1 CA. And one more extreme point is there. If the Bhuvan says, I do not know the state, I came to a shop to buy, you want to sell the product, I will give the money, cash is there, 9,500 I will pay. You ask me the state address है, हमको पता नहीं है, हम थंबर है, हम आए थे ग्रुप में. This means I came along with a group. I do not know, हम India से है. Purvika fellow getting tense. This state हमको पता नहीं है. Then what he will do? 10.1 CSS. If the address of the recipient not available, state name of the recipient also be not available, then 10.1 CSS, place of supply, location of the supplier is a remote. Now, address available, buyer address Tamil Nadu, delivery address West Bengal. Then for a supplier, Purvika, who supply the goods, which one is the place of supply? You apply practically, logically, finally at final level. You tell me, if place of supply is a billing address, it goes where? Tamil Nadu. But the goods got consumed where? West Bengal. So practically, finally, logically, it should goes to West Bengal, no? Therefore, take that into account They said if the billing address different from delivery address, especially the goods are routing through e-commerce operator, in that case, section 10 section 1 clause C says that delivery address is the place of supply. Delivery address is the place of supply. Now you got clarity, Rajan? For May 25 examination, got clarity? As simple as this. This is a provision is applicable for May 25 exam onwards. So indirect taxes, all amendments very much pro to the examination. Amendments nande minimum 30 to 40 marks will come in the exam. Take into granted. Not only I said, CA Institute long back past president said indirect tax laws are considered. We are going behind the amendments in the examination point of view. More amendments only will focus. Old data amnesty scheme we won't consider. Amnesty and all what? Old data, which is not in present. Presently, what is there? That only will ask in examination. Therefore, up to February 28th February 2025, amendments well applicable in the examination, for which, if possible, today evening or by tomorrow morning, I am going to upload amendments class. Separate video will come in YouTube channel. My channel name is called Rafi Sir IDT Guru. Thereby unique name. When you search it in YouTube, will stand and come. Hi, hello, how are you? For your updations purpose. Separately, I am going to upload amendments exclusively for September 25 exam. Make use of it by listening. In the class, then and there I will refer that points. Is clear? But these classes are not amendments class. These classes are rapid revision classes covering entire syllabus. Got the clarity? Let me cover another 3 classes are there in a simplified manner. 2 classes only are there. Thereby you can say that place of supply of goods is completed. So far, have we referred 10.1a, 10.1b, 10.1c, 10.1ca. Is clear? 10.1ca is belongs to 10.1a or 10.1c. But when will come? When the buyer is a unregistered person will come. If the buyer registered person, it go to 10.1a. If not 10.1c. Is clear? Any difficulty? Then doubt. Yes, hold the mic, please. Hold the mic. Ask doubt, man.
Actually, doubt in the sense, what have you explained regarding the amendments? It's similar to the build to ship to model. So the example what I've given is only for e-commerce operator, that billing address, the place of supply. But in the normal case, it will be the principal place of third person.
See, understand. Build to ship to model is entirely different from e-commerce operator. E-commerce operator providing services, service nature. Get my point? I am referring what here? Goods supply of goods, place of supply. So e-commerce operator point of view, if you refer, e-commerce operator is not a person here to refer the place of supply, because he is not supplying dash goods, he is supplying dash service.
But Purvika is the supplier, no sir. Purvika is selling goods.
He is supplier of goods. Correct.
For Purvika, it will be delivery address only, no sir. If it's sell through e-commerce.
Okay. Can I take the problem on this? Can I take the problem? Yes. I know. Just you propose. I am here to dispose. I am telling you, you just propose. Here, correct? I will explain such a manner that after you qualify also won't forget. I know this what you are asking me. E-commerce operator in all cases. It is there in our workbook also. I have shared with you the workbook. Yes. Is the problem. Page number 162 workbook. Hey, mister, could you read for me, please? Slowly, calmly read. Yes. You be shy enough. You should not be shy at all. What for you are saying it? We are studying for our future. It is our future. Get my point, sir? Yes. Read, Raja.
XYZ Electronics Private Limited, a registered manufacturer in Delhi, sells 100 smartphones worth 10 lakhs through an e-commerce operator. A Flipbuy India Private Limited, an online marketplace platform. The order is placed by ABC Retailer Private Limited, a registered buyer in Maharashtra, and the goods are directly shipped to PQR Trader, final customer in Karnataka, considering the definition under GST law and determine whether Flipbuy India Private Limited can be considered as an agent under Section 10(1)(b) of IGST Act. 2. Whether the bill to ship to proviso of Section 10(1)(b) of IGST Act apply to Flipbuy India Private Limited. 3. What will the place of supply and applicable GST for this transaction?
Is clear? Now, seller. Who is seller, Raja, here? XYZ is a seller, correct? Then who is the buyer? ABC fellow is the buyer. Thereafter, he is dispatching that goods where? PQR. Now, for ABC, seller is XYZ. For PQR, seller is ABC. So, PQR is the buyer and seller ABC. Can you agree with me? Here, ABC is the buyer, seller XYZ. It's practical, no? Further, you should not ask any further more doubt. The doubt should be clarified in exhaust manner. With that only I prepared this problem. Now, question, whether Flipbuy is what? Is it covered in 10(1)(b)? No. He is supplying dash a service. 10(1)(b) talks about place of supply of a goods. Is clear? Now, he may be acting as an agent, but he is providing service only, not a supply of goods. Is clear? He won't come 10(1)(b). Thereafter, bill to ship to model apply to Flipbuy? No. Bill to ship to model not applicable to Flipbuy. Bill to ship to model is applicable to XYZ. For XYZ, 10(1)(b) apply. Place of supply 10 for him, seller. Place of equal to? Why Karnataka? Okay. Why Karnataka? See here 10(1)(c) applicable. Registered persons, Raja. Transaction. First of all, 10(1)(c) will come only when? Notwithstanding 10(1)(a), 10(1)(c. Not the 10(1)(b). 10(1)(b) comes, it is the 10(1)(b). You get my point, sir. And 10(1)(c) will come with a condition, recipient should be uninsured person. Here, registered person. Is clear? So, the answer, presenting one by one. Step 1. Understanding the definition of e-commerce operator. Section 245. An e-commerce operator is a person who owns, the operates or manages a digital or electronic platform. Definition. 244. E-commerce means the transaction to digital format. Flipbuy only provides an online marketplace for supplier and buyer, charging a commission. Applicability of 10(1)(b), bill to ship to provision. Step 2. Applicability. 10(1)(b) states, if the goods are delivered by seller to the recipient on the instruction of a third person, acting as a agent or otherwise, the place of supply shall be the principal place of the business of a third person. Is clear? In this case, listen Raja, flip by India Private Limited is not an agent of the manufacturer. Flip by does not own or take title of the goods. Flip by is merely independent service provider. Therefore, the provision of 10(1)(b, bill to ship to, do not apply to flip. Is clear? One point is clear, sir. Further, step 3. Determine the place of supply and GST treatment. Sale from XYZ Electronics, Delhi. Seller. Buyer, ABC Maharashtra. Bill to ship to model. Seller, so and so. Billing party, ABC. Ship to PQR. Applicable provision, 10(1)(b. As a result, basically goes to ABC Maharashtra. So for him, POS is Maharashtra. I will write neatly. Maharashtra is a very big state, Raja. We have a capital, Maharashtra. Get my point, sir? Is clear? Then, principally Maharashtra, correct. IGST will leave it. Then transaction 2. Transaction between ABC and PQR. It is supply inverse movement, na? 10(1)(a. Because ratio persons. My wife, enna pandrathu? I will call you after some time. Okay? She quit. நம்ம டிஸ்கண்ட் பண்ணக்கூடாது, அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணணும். That's why I attended. I never going to attend. I asked to switch off my cell phone, but for her cell phone alone, I given the permission to call anytime. Required no. That's why. Now please come back. Sale from ABC retailer Maharashtra to PQR. Supply inverse movement of the goods. 10(1)(a apply because ratio persons. In that case, movement of the goods terminated where? Consumer place. Where is the PQR place? Where the PQR located? Karnataka. Location of supplier? Maharashtra. Where supply goes to? Karnataka. IGST will be levied. Summary. Got your doubt? Crystal clear? Furthermore, anything is there? Then you take a break of 1 hour. You take because 1:10 actually need some food day. Therefore, 1:10 okay, but 2 o'clock we are going to start. Not 1 hour break. Is clear? 50 minutes break. Sufficient. 2 o'clock we start. Continue from here. From where? From the place of in the given case. We have covered 10(1)(c). Now I'm going to take 10(1)(d), 10(1)(e). Thereafter, section 12 series, where 14 subsections are there for supply of services, followed by section 13 series. There are 13 subsections are there for supply of services, process supply. Apart from that, we have circulars, but very important, process supply. See you after 50 minutes from now. 2 o'clock we start exactly.